Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is April 14th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see we do have some mid and high level clouds streaming across Southern California and portions of Arizona. There is an upper level low out here. It's difficult to see on the infrared satellite imagery. I'll show you the actual mid level water vapor loop here next, and you can kind of see it a bit better. But you can see there is a ridge up here across Pacific Northwest. It's keeping things fairly dry here along much of the west coast for now. But this upper level low is going to start to trigger some showers over the next few days. We're going to have another upper level low come down on the backside, the eastern periphery of this ridge, and kind of phase in with that upper level low that's currently down here. There's still some disagreement on how this is going to unfold, but we'll take a look at those details as we go through the weather video here this morning. And you can kind of see the upper level low here on the mid-level water vapor loop. You can kind of see how it shows up better than what it was doing on the infrared satellite imagery. Now, visible satellite imagery, you can kind of see as the sun rises, some of these mid and high level clouds moving across the area. Might be a few showers or some virga out there with that. Shouldn't be big precipitation makers, these showers anyway. And then you can see the marine layer in towards Southern California. A lot of clouds out there this morning up and down the coastline towards the Bay Area. But once you get across some of the interior areas of Central and Northern California, it is quite sunny out there. You can see the snow caps here in Nevada. There's Mount Shasta up there, and the marine layer largely absent from much of the northwest California coast, but just north of the Bay Area it starts to cloud in again. Now, talking about the thunderstorm activity here, this is for Tuesday and Wednesday. This is Eureka National Weather Service, and this is going to go for the Cascades, Klamath Range, maybe up towards the Siskiyous, and then for some of the Sierra Nevada as well. So we'll take a look at that here in a moment. There's all kinds of cool stuff that you can look up online. This, for example, this was a National Weather Service San Diego drought information statement for far southwestern California. I won't go over into this in too much detail, but they talk about the recent change in drought intensity, precipitation over the last 30 days, temperature, and the summary of impacts. If I find something very interesting out here, we'll go into that in some more detail. But again, southeast California, some of Southern California, portions of Nevada and Arizona are still in some pretty severe drought as we speak. So, taking a look here, National Weather Service Reno, which does cover some portions of California, is talking again as we go on into this week, showers and thunderstorm potential. And by the way, watch out for those cold rivers, some of that snow melt coming off. The air is warm, but the water, it can be very cold and it can sap your energy quite quickly. So be careful for that. Now, taking a look at the wider view of things, North America view, you can see Alaska's up here. There's California. There's the cutoff or upper level low right here that we're going to be dealing with for the next few days. And then you can see the ridge is built all the way up on the west coast of British Columbia. And then we get the next upper level low trying to phase in there. And that's still in some question on just how that is going to set up. It's kind of an inside slider, but it does want to bring precipitation amounts potentially all the way down into Southern California. Then you can see it kind of spinning over the southwest and eventually slowly kick off to the east there. Now, if we take a look at 500 millibrow heights as far as the heights anomaly here that for this time of year, again, there's the upper level low we're dealing with now, the ridge up across Pacific Northwest. And then again, we have this kind of low but move down here, this upper level low that comes in phases in there. And that's what's going to bring some of our crazy weather here as we go through this upcoming week. And we'll dive into some of those details here in a moment, but I'll start showing you the upper levels of the atmosphere here really quick, because I do like these maps. You can kind of see that upper level low and the chillier temperatures there at 10,000 feet. Give us a visit here to much of the southwest of the USA, and again, replay that through, and you can kind of see that cold air kind of drop down there as I speed through this loop. Now, taking a look at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right. So we're getting some decent model agreement that this upper level low is going to phase in with the upper level low off the coastline here. And you can see you start to kick off some of those showers as we go through. Let me back that up here. This is Tuesday afternoon. You can see the GFS and the European show it across the higher terrain, maybe coming out towards the coastal range Bay Area north for a thunderstorm or two, northern Arizona, kick off a thunderstorm here across Nevada, and then we scroll off in towards Wednesday afternoon. Again, pretty good model agreement here. Some snow for the higher elevations as well, some convective snow, some snow pellets. Makes for some good skiing conditions. And then you can see as we go on into Thursday, the European wants to bring more widespread precipitation across some of the San Joaquin Valley, even bringing some precipitation to Southern California. Some of the higher terrain would be likely getting some thunderstorms here. The GFS does show precipitation for the Sierra Nevada, but not for Southern California. So we'll be watching that over the next couple of days. We go on into Friday afternoon, and again, kind of that trend with the European being a bit more wet than the GFS here on the left. And we scroll off in towards the following weekend, and you can kind of see this upper level low spinning across the Intermountain West and moving off to the east. Now, if we look at composite reflectivity, the North American model does show some shower activity, but a lot of this might just be virga or it would be light precipitation. Not much to worry about for today. But as we go on in through Tuesday, tomorrow, you can see some of this activity here is definitely going to be producing lightning across some of the Sierra Nevada as we go on in through the day tomorrow, afternoon hours. And you can kind of see the showery activity here off the coastline there with the upper level low. And then it again fires off as we go through Wednesday afternoon there also. So we'll be watching these high resolution models as we get closer to this event coming up here. But Tuesday looks like the best day for some thunderstorm activity across the Sierra Nevada. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday all have that potential as well, potentially dropping down into Southern California as we go through the end of the week and on in towards the weekend. So if we look at the European, we're going to kind of ignore the one there for today on Monday, but we're going to go to Tuesday there. And this is probably a pretty good indicator of what potential we do have on Tuesday. There's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday starts to drop down across some portions of Southern California and Arizona, and then on to Saturday and Sunday as that pushes off to the east. So now let's take a look here at total precipitation in inches. And actually, let me back up there. I think I skipped the total snow there. Just want to put that into motion and kind of show you that we are getting some decent amounts for some lucky areas there across the Sierra Nevada and potentially down through the transverse and the peninsular range and where they meet. You can kind of see some areas might get some decent amounts out of that. Scroll through that one more time. Not a huge snowmaker here, but these upper level lows can be fun at this time of year. Now, total precipitation in inches. Let's look at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right. And if you remember the last run that I showed you, the European was definitely showing more. So let's scroll out as we go on in through Wednesday. Here we go to Wednesday afternoon. You can see some of this precipitation picking up. Then we scroll off in towards Thursday. And you can see including some of the San Joaquin Valley, some of Southern California as we head off during the day Friday. And if you look really closely there across Southern California, the peninsular range, you can really see some of these bigger amounts, 1.5 inches for some areas. And again, some of the foothills of the Sierra Nevada under the gun. GFS, much less rainy for Southern California. So again, we'll be watching those model run differences as we go through the upcoming days. And if we look at the extended forecast, there goes our upper level low. Here goes the next one phasing in and hanging out for a bit across the region. Another one swoops across Pacific Northwest, maybe clipping portions of California as we go into the following week, but we'll worry about that at a later date. And then you can see another cutoff low, maybe way off into the extended forecast, just purely fantasy at this point. But no huge death ridge as of right now, so that's good to see as we continue to trek on through the month of April. Now, this is 15-day precipitation anomaly, and you can kind of see a little bit of a change here where Southern California might be getting a bit more than usual versus Northern California. That would definitely be a change up from what we were seeing during the fall and the winter months. So glad to see that, and nothing too extreme there, but we'll take it. There's the 6 to 10 day big mixed bag here for California. And again, kind of the West Coast versus Southwest mixed bag, 8 to 14 day as well. And kind of this below normal signal continues to show up as we head off in through April, but I would take that with a grain of salt. But anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Click like and subscribe. We will do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.